Hi guys, it's Sam and I am back today because you guessed it, another tag video. This time I am doing the back to school book tag and I was tagged by the creator, Jenny Unscripted, and I'll leave her channel down below so you guys can go and check her out because she has a really great channel and I love watching her videos and she's really sweet, so you guys should go and check her out. I'm not prepared for this tag whatsoever, so it'll be interesting because I did not think of my answers. So the first one is English/language arts. Name your favorite authors or books writing styles. The author of writing style that is your favorite, I guess. So for this one, I am choosing Scott Lynch and his Gentleman Bastard series because I absolutely love his writing. It is humorous, it is funny, his writing is really colorful. I mean, it's really vivid. You feel like you're there. You feel like you're actually talking to these people, and he has humor in there, and it's wonderful. It makes it really entertaining to read. It makes it addictive to read, like you just want more, and I love that about his writing. So that's what I choose for the first question. The next question is, and yes, I have a TARDIS phone case, math, a book that made you frustrated. Book that made me frustrated. Oh yes, I know exactly what I'm going to use for this one. Deep Blue by Jennifer Donnelly, and I'm pretty sure this author is going to hate me because I always seem to mention this book whenever I am talking about a book I don't like. But this book made me so frustrated. I actually did not finish it, and I almost always finish reading a book, but I could not. The writing was terrible. It was awful. I mean, I'm sorry. It was not good. It was not good. I will always steer people away from this book. I absolutely adore this cover, which is probably why I still have it. It's because I like the cover and I like looking at it because it's pretty. But I hate the book. It made me very frustrated. The whole time I was reading it, I felt so annoyed. And it's not good to read a book that makes you feel annoyed the whole time, which is probably why I stopped reading it. So that's what I choose for math. The next question is science, a book that really made you think or question things. I don't know. Nothing comes to mind. There's several books that I've had to read for school throughout high school and college, and a lot of those writings made me think and question things, so I'm going to include that. I can't think of a specific book, one book or something that I have read, but there has been multiple things, so I will name those things. The first one is 1984 by George Orwell. He kind of explored government and its control over people and how, I guess, our lack of control over our lives, and that made me question things and how things could become. It was what he saw the future as looking like, so it's a bleak book, but it definitely makes you question how you live and where you live and your role and government's role in life, etc. So that was one. I've had to read various things by Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and of course those made me think not only just about how we treat people and the injustices that go on in the world and how you play into that and what your role in those things are and how you can make things better. I've read things by Mother Teresa and St. Francis of Assisi, same thing. It makes you question sort of your life and how you live your life and how you can better help other people, and kind of makes you become more aware of your lack of helping others when you could, even just the smallest thing, like giving somebody a smile or an encouraging word. So those are some of the things that I have read that have probably affected me and my view of my life and my role in the world. The next question is social studies / history, your favorite book from a different time period. So I'm actually going to choose The Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer because it was written in the Middle Ages and it portrayed life in the Middle Ages, and it is a hilarious story. I mean, yeah, fart jokes. It's a pretty entertaining read, so that's the book I'm going to choose. It was actually written in the time period in which it took place, and it's a very interesting read, and I recommend it. Don't be daunted by it. You will enjoy it, I assure you. The next question is art, your favorite book with pictures. For this one, I am choosing Sandman by Neil Gaiman. This is a graphic novel by the wonderful Neil Gaiman, and it, of course, is full of pictures because it's a graphic novel, and the art in this graphic novel is fantastic, if you guys can kind of see some of it. It is just amazing. This right here is Sandman and his sister Death. It's a work of art. It's really kind of creepy, but it's a work of art, and so therefore it is my favorite book with pictures. The next question is drama, a book you would love to see turned into a movie. I know, because my friend Amy and I totally fan casted this book series. I don't know if you remember that, Amy, if you're watching it, but I do. We totally did this. That book series is the Rhaeria Revelations series by Michael J. Sullivan, consisting of, these are big books, Theft of Swords, Rise of Empire, and Heir of Novron, and I'm sure they'll look familiar to you guys because I've been rereading them and have mentioned them in several videos. But I got her to read these books and she loved them just as much as I did, and we went through and we totally fan casted this book series because they need to be made into movies. They would be pretty badass movies, I assure you. They'd be entertaining and you all would love them. They would be just as awesome as The Lord of the Rings. I kid you not. These need to be made into movies, and I doubt anybody from Hollywood is watching me, but if you are, make these into movies. Gold mine. The next question is music/band. Name a character you think or know would have the same musical taste as you. I'm going to say any of Jane Austen's characters because I love classical music, and they lived in the time period in which some of the classical music I like was written. They often played the piano and played classical music, so yes. So I choose for this one. The next question is lunch, a food from a book you would love to try. For this one, I'm going to Middle Earth. If you guys have read The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, you would know of a type of bread the elves made called lembas. Lembas? I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. And they just made it sound good. Personally, I imagine it like this little chocolate cake type thing, and it sounded delicious, and I want to try some. So, yeah, I want to eat me some lembas. Or lembas, or however you say it. The next question, a bus ride home, a book or author that is relaxing. For this one, I am choosing Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte because this is one of my favorite books, and it's a classic, and it's heartwarming, and it's a little bit sad, but for me, it's just kind of like a go-to read when I don't know what to read. Like, I just kind of want a little something. I'll read this because I know it'll make me happy. So, that is what I choose. And last but not least, extra credit, a book someone else told you to read and you ended up enjoying it. For this one, surprisingly, I am going with Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. So, when I was about 11, 12 years old, my parents had me read The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and I absolutely loved those books. I was so engrossed in the world. I adored it. I couldn't wait to read more, and it's really what kind of started my journey with reading fantasy. It's just fantastic. So I was really, really, really into The Lord of the Rings, my little 11, 12-year-old self, when the Harry Potter books kind of first hit America. It was only the first 3 books were out, and everybody kept comparing them to The Lord of the Rings. I don't really know why now, but they kept saying it was epic on the same level as The Lord of the Rings. And my little 12-year-old self just warred against that. I kept thinking, how could anything be as good as The Lord of the Rings? Lies, I say, lies. But my mom had read the first book or so, and she told me I would really, really like it, but I was still warring against reading it. And eventually I got to a point where I didn't have a book to read, and she told me to just read the first Harry Potter book because I would like it. And boy, was she right. It took me 2 chapters, and I think I sped through the first Harry Potter book when I was like a day and a half. I think it was 12, and at that point I was hooked. And a couple months later my birthday hit and I got the first 3 Harry Potter books for my birthday because those were the only ones out, and thus began my journey with Harry Potter, becoming a very, very large part of my childhood / teenage years. So thanks, Mom, for making me read this book because the series means a lot to me now. Alright, that's it for the tag. Thank you, Jenny, for tagging me. This was a really fun tag to do. And again, guys, be sure to check her out down below. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, everyone, happy reading and bye!